Hello, I am Dr. Sarah Williams, and today I need to speak to you about something critically important for anyone over 50, because joints health becomes most important topic after 50, and sometimes the medication we take for other conditions can actually becomes the main problem. I want you to do one thing. In the comments, tell me where are you watching from this. We can support one and another in protecting our health. Now let's get straight to the point. Over 50. Two simple words that can feel like a verdict, a warning label, or a quiet fear whispered by your knees every time you stand up from a chair. Maybe you remember a time when you could squat down without thinking, without pain, without hesitation. And now, your body sends you a message before your mind even decides to move. A stiff morning, a sharp reminder on the stairs, a question you never used to ask. Should I even do this? Let me ask you something powerful. What if the problem isn't your age, but the way you've been taught to move? What if strength after 50 doesn't come from forcing your body to act young, but from learning how to work with it wisely? What if protecting your knees isn't about doing less, but about doing better? I want you to imagine your knees not as fragile joints waiting to fail, but as loyal partners that have carried you through decades of life. They've supported your work, your family, your struggles, your celebrations. They deserve respect, not punishment. And today, I want to show you that there is a smarter, safer, and more empowering way to build strength than squats, especially if you're over 50. This is not about giving up. This is about leveling up. The first key point is this. Strength does not begin at the knees. It begins at the hips. And that's why the hip hinge is a gift to your future. Think of how many times a day you bend forward, picking something up, tying your shoes, leaning towards someone you love. Most people turn those moments into knee stress because they were told that squats are the king of all exercises. But the hip hinge teaches your body a different story. It shifts the work away from your knees and into the powerful muscles of your hips and glutes, the true engines of lower body strength. Imagine your hips as the hinge on a strong door. When the hinge works properly, the door moves smoothly and effortlessly. When it doesn't, everything creaks and strains. Exercises like controlled hip hinges, deadlift-style movements with light weight or even just body weight, retrain your body to move from strength instead of strain. They build stability, improve posture, and protect your knees by teaching them they don't have to do all the work alone. I once met a man who told me he stopped exercising because squats made his knees ache for days. He thought his active life was over. When he learned to hinge at the hips, slowly, intentionally, something remarkable happened. His confidence returned before his strength did. He realized he wasn't broken. He was just using the wrong tool. And with every hinge, he wasn't just lifting his body. He was lifting the belief that aging meant decline. The second key point is this. Progress doesn't always come from going lower. It often comes from stepping higher, and that's where step-ups change everything. Life itself is full of steps, curbs, stairs, doorways, challenges. Step-ups mirror real life in a way squats never will. They train balance, coordination, and strength one leg at a time, which is exactly how your body actually moves. When you step up onto a low platform or stair, you're not forcing your knees into deep angles. You're teaching them stability. You're reminding your muscles how to fire in harmony. One leg supports, the other moves, and your core stays engaged to keep you upright. This is not just exercise, this is rehearsal for living well. There's a quiet dignity in mastering step-ups. They may look simple, but they demand focus and control. And control is power. Every time you step up with intention, you're telling your body, I trust you. You're building strength that translates directly into everyday confidence, walking without fear, climbing stairs without hesitation, standing taller because your body feels reliable again. I've seen people light up the first time they realize they can do step-ups without pain. It's not just physical relief, it's emotional release. It's the moment they stop identifying as someone with bad knees and start seeing themselves as someone who is capable again. That shift alone can change a life. The third key point is this. Sometimes the strongest move you can make is to stay still, and that's why isometric exercises like wall sits are more powerful than they look. We live in a world that glorifies motion, speed, and intensity. But your knees often crave stability, not chaos. Wall sets allow you to strengthen the muscles around your knees without grinding the joint itself. Picture yourself standing with your back against a wall, lowering into a controlled position where your thighs engage, your core tightens, and your breath deepens. You're not moving, but your body is working. Your muscles are learning endurance. Your joints are learning safety. Your mind is learning patience. There is something deeply symbolic about holding a wall sit. Life over 50 has taught you how to endure, how to breathe through discomfort, how to stay present even when things get hard. This exercise mirrors that wisdom. It says you don't have to rush to prove your strength. You can hold it. You can own it. People often underestimate these moments of still strength, but they are transformative. Wall sits build resilience without impact. They prepare your knees for movement by surrounding them with stronger, more supportive muscles. And they remind you that strength isn't always loud. Sometimes it's quiet, steady, and unshakable. Now here's the truth that ties all of this together. Aging is not about losing ability. It's about refining it. Your body is not asking you to stop moving. It's asking you to move with intelligence, respect, and purpose. When you choose exercises that protect your knees instead of punishing them, you're choosing longevity over ego. You're choosing a future where movement remains a joy, not a risk. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. You don't need to chase exercises that no longer serve you. You need to build a body that supports the life you want to live. One step, one hinge, one steady hold at a time. So here is your call to action. Starting today, stop measuring your fitness by how deep you can squat and start measuring it by how confidently you move through life. Replace pain with intention. Replace fear with knowledge. Commit to these 3 exercises, not as a temporary fix, but as a new philosophy of movement. Your knees have carried you this far. Honor them. Strengthen them wisely. And remember this, over 50 is not the beginning of the end. It is the beginning of moving smarter, standing stronger, and living with power that comes not from youth but from experience. And as you continue listening, I want you to feel something shift inside you. Not pressure, not fear, but permission. Permission to stop fighting your body and start partnering with it. Because the truth is, your body has been whispering wisdom to you for years. The aches, the stiffness, the hesitation before movement, those were not signs of weakness. They were signals asking for a new approach. Think about how often we confuse effort with effectiveness. We believe that if something hurts, it must be working. We believe that if it's hard on the joints, it must be building strength. But real strength, lasting strength, is not built through punishment. It is built through consistency, alignment, and respect. And when you adopt that mindset, something incredible happens. You stop dreading movement. You start looking forward to it. Imagine waking up in the morning and standing up without bracing yourself. Imagine walking into a room without scanning for the nearest chair. Imagine trusting your knees again, not because they never ache, but because they are supported, trained, and cared for. That future is not reserved for athletes or fitness experts. It belongs to anyone willing to move with intention. So many people over 50 quietly shrink their world. They stop traveling because they fear long walks. They stop playing with grandchildren because they fear getting down on the floor. They stop exercising because they fear making things worse. And slowly, without realizing it, life becomes smaller. But movement done wisely does the opposite. It expands your world. It gives you options. It gives you freedom. Freedom is being able to say yes. Yes to stairs. Yes to long walks. Yes to new experiences. Yes to living fully in the body you have today, not the body you had 20 years ago, and not the body you're afraid you'll have 10 years from now. You see, the goal is not to rewind time. The goal is to build a body that ages with strength and dignity, a body that adapts, a body that listens, a body that still responds when you ask it to move. Every hip hinge you practice is a reminder that power comes from the center. Every step up is proof that progress happens one step at a time. Every wall sit is a declaration that you are capable of holding your ground. These movements are not just exercises. They are metaphors for how to live after 50. There will be days when movement feels easy and days when it feels heavy. That's not failure. That's life. The difference now is that you have tools that work with your body, not against it. You have movements that strengthen without stealing tomorrow's comfort. You have a strategy built for longevity, not ego. And let's talk about ego for a moment. Ego is what tells you to do what you used to do, even when your body is asking for change. Wisdom is knowing when to adapt. Wisdom is choosing what allows you to keep moving for years, not weeks. Wisdom is understanding that true strength is sustainable. You are not behind. You are not late. You are exactly where you need to be to make a powerful decision about your future health. And that decision doesn't require perfection. It requires commitment. A small commitment, repeated often, becomes transformation. Commit to moving a little every day. Commit to listening instead of forcing. Commit to strengthening the muscles that support your knees instead of punishing the joints that serve you. These commitments may sound simple, but they are revolutionary. And something else will happen as you continue this journey. Your confidence will grow. Not the loud, boastful kind. The quiet kind. The kind that shows up in your posture, your walk, your presence. The kind that makes people say, "You look strong," without knowing exactly why. Because strength after 50 is not about aesthetics. It's about capability. It's about knowing you can handle what life asks of you. It's about resilience. And resilience is built one smart choice at a time. You may have been told that pain is inevitable with age, that stiffness is unavoidable, that decline is natural. But while aging is inevitable, helplessness is not. You have far more influence over your physical future than you've been led to believe. Every time you choose a knee-friendly movement, you are casting a vote for your future self. A future self who walks confidently. A future self who moves freely. A future self who doesn't think twice before getting up, sitting down, or stepping forward. And here's the most important part. This journey is not about comparison. It's not about how fast someone else moves or how much weight someone else lifts. It's about your relationship with your own body. It's about rebuilding trust. Trust is built slowly, one pain-free movement at a time, one successful step at a time, one steady hold at a time. And once that trust returns, fear loses its grip. Fear tells you to stop. Fear tells you to avoid. Fear tells you that you're fragile. But movement done wisely reminds you that you are adaptable, that you are capable, that you are stronger than you think. So when you feel hesitation, don't run from it. Meet it with knowledge. When you feel doubt, answer it with action. When you feel stiffness, respond with movement, not avoidance. You don't need to overhaul your life overnight. You just need to begin. Begin where you are. Begin with what feels safe. Begin with intention. And as weeks turn into months, you'll notice something profound. Movement becomes smoother. Confidence becomes natural. Pain becomes less dominant. And life begins to open up again. This is not about chasing youth. This is about embracing vitality. Vitality is not measured by age. It's measured by how you feel in your body when you wake up, when you move, when you live. You still have miles to walk, experiences to enjoy, moments to fully inhabit. Your knees are not your enemy. They are your partners. Treat them with intelligence, strengthen them with purpose, and they will carry you forward. So stand tall in this moment. Breathe deeply. Make a promise to yourself, not to be perfect, but to be consistent, not to push through pain, but to move through life with strength and awareness. because over 50 is not a limitation. It is a chapter. And this chapter can be one of the strongest, most capable, and most empowered of your life. If you choose to move smart, move with purpose, and move forward starting today. In conclusion, I sincerely hope that the information shared today proves helpful in promoting better bone and joint health in your daily lives. I humbly request you to share your thoughts and leave your valuable comments on this video. Thank you for your time, attention, and trust. Take care of your health, stay active, and goodbye until we meet again.